Hello, this is Nikki in Niagara, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. And today I'm filming one of my favorite videos to make, and that is my finished pictures for the month of May. In a way, I feel like the month went by fast, or at least I feel like it's fast since now it's June. That happened fast. Other times May feels like it lasted a long while, because some of these pictures that I colored at the beginning of the month, I feel like I colored them like months ago. Okay, so I feel like my pile is smaller than usual. I did color more than one picture out of some of the books, and I did do some pencil work, so you know they take a bit longer than color by numbers. So I don't know if it's around the same or less. We'll see how long it takes to do this. Are we straight? Okay, no, my book is on an angle to be straight. Straighten this up. Sorry, close your eyes. I'll tell you when the seasickness is over. Come on, go straight. Okay. Alright, I'm going to have to turn this off if it doesn't do it in a minute. How's that? Is that straight? It looks straight. Except my camera is at an angle, so I don't know. Okay, well, we'll go with that. If it's crooked, I apologize in advance. Okay, so Chibi Girls 1 and 2 grayscale book I am trying to complete for this year. I don't know. I'm allowing myself to go into January, February of next year because I don't know. But if every month goes like this month did, then I might make it. I don't know. So anyways, I had 4 people buddy color with me out of this book, and I had a couple other buddy colors as well, so it was a lot of fun. Thanks guys for doing that with me. So let's take a look and see what I colored in here this month. So this one was a buddy color with my sister, and she wanted to do a limited palette. So we went on to Pinterest, and well, before we went on to Pinterest, we said 6. So we went on to Pinterest and we put in color palettes, and then I counted over 6 actual color palettes. I did this, and then I sent her a link to the color palette we were using. So I counted over 6. Well, the 6th one was like white and cream and a really light rose beige, and you can see the theme I'm going with here, right? They weren't really colors. So I said forwards or backwards to her because I was the one looking at it, and she said backwards, so I went back one, and this is the one that we had to do. So this is what I came up with. I think she made better use of the colors than I did. I did too much of the blue. I became a little frustrated with the colors in this picture because I just couldn't get the color, the wood, a color I wanted to, because I'd done her hair with this color. Now, if I had done her hair blue, this is what my sister did. If I remember correctly, my sister did the girl's hair blue, and then she had this color for the trees and the wood, and it was perfect. So I used it down here for some wood. Okay, and then I did a buddy color here with Emily Timke. I'm sorry, Emily, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Is it Timke? That makes more sense, but hey, it might be Timke. Anyways, Emily, thank you so much for doing this buddy color with me. We had a lot of fun with this, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And Emily's picture was gorgeous as well. Of course, all my buddies' pictures were gorgeous. It's so much fun to look at them and compare what color you did this and what color you did that. If I remember correctly, she did her dress in almost the same colors, but reverse. I think. It's hard to remember back. My sister and I discussed it online, so that discussion is in my head. And then this was a buddy color with Amanda, known as Mandy Mandy underscore Theo on Instagram. And we did this as a buddy color. These were all done in the first week and a half of the month. So yeah, I don't like the yellow. I don't know why I did. And same with the walls. My problem with doing interiors is I don't know what color to do the walls. And then I did this with Bianca Hybrecht. She is from the Netherlands, and I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. And this, I love this one. It's one of my favorites, I think, for the month. I really liked how I did this. I colored the whole blackboard, the green color. And of course, alcohol markers are transparent, so unless you're using the absolute darkest of dark, well, black, basically, then you can still see the lines through. It's just really hard. So yeah, all that showed through, and I just traced over it with a white Posca. Actually, I had to go over it twice to make it stand out. And yeah, so of course everything in here is done with alcohol markers, and what kind, I don't know. Just any of the kinds that I have. I have Copics, which I'm not using at the moment because I need to get refills, and I don't want to keep emptying them and not having refilled the ones that are empty already. Ohuhu, Shuttle Art, and I have 4 stingy remaining Touch News that are like ugly colors, but they're not used up, and so I hold on to them and keep not using them up. Okay, so that's that book. This one I got in right at the very end. I think I did this on the last day of the month. Yep, on the 31st. I actually was starting to color for the beginning of June, thinking I would do my 2 monthly pages out of this, which I have been doing ever since around this time last year, April of last year. Basically been doing 2 pages a month out of this, give or take, okay? And I forgot last month, so I got it out again, and I was starting to do June's 2 pages, but I got this done on the 31st, so hey, bonus page. I randomly picked out the colors, and I love it when that happens. They just went together so well. I wouldn't have picked this light green. I picked 5. I randomly picked 5 like Bic markers and 2 glitters. And myself, I would not have picked that green glitter, but it looks nice in here now looking at it. So hopefully I'll get 2 done in here next month at least, because this is working out really well. And I'm saving my last page. When one of my pens is almost done, I kind of use it up on here. So I started doing that just a little while ago. It's the last one in the book. Okay, so next comes a whole section. I did a lot of Sachin Sachdeva's books this month, and I did converse, well, not converse, but communicate, I guess is the word, with Sachin, and that is how his name is pronounced. It's Sachin Sachdeva. Sachin Sachdeva. I think. No, he sent me a recorded message, and I'm going to listen to that, and it's going to be different. But I'm pretty sure I have it right. Sachin Sachdeva. So that is how I will be saying his name from now on. Please feel free to correct me, Sachin, if I've said that wrong, or is it Sachin? I'll have to listen for the accent, but I've got the sounds right. So if anybody else wants to know how to pronounce his name, that will give you a better start. Oh, I put the book away. This is his brand new book, and I love it. It's for adults, and it is called 50 Animal Mandalas, Adult Coloring Book. I've got a smudge on there that does not want to go away. There, that's better. And this has black backed pages. That's why it is starting to curl. Oh, I just have to do this. See? This is what happens when books have black backed pages. Sorry, that's no insult to the book than the art or the artist. So it's just a trend, and maybe someday it will be over. So these are really neat because let me show you a couple of the blank ones before I show you what I did. They are actually, they're not traditional mandalas. They're circles, and if you cut them down the middle like this, then the flowers are symmetrical this way, like from the middle over, like a mandala. And then there's an animal. This one actually is symmetrical going down the middle, but that's not a rule. Okay, so they all are. There we go. There's one that's not. But if you go down here, the flowers are. Sometimes they're a little off, but that is on purpose. And this is the one I did. This got a lot of love on Instagram, surprisingly. I had a ton of fun coloring it, and I'm going to keep this one out so that I can color in it again this month. Okay, then Sachin sent me this book, Paisley Designs, Color by Number book for adults, and he sent me the PDF first because he was having problems sending physical books to me. So I did the first page in the book from a PDF onto paper, and this is the paper that I recommended in my haul video, and then I colored this one in the book. And I love it. I love the patterns in here. I think my books are all going to be wonky. I'm not sure if I'm getting this filmed straight. The camera is showing me that it's straight, but when I look at it on my desk, it's slanted. So I'm going to be straightening that up and seeing it slanted. And oh, I'm sorry. I think I already apologized for that, but that's really bothering me. So I love this book. I'm going to get some more in this series. This is a Sachin Sachdeva's book from the series called Doodle and Color, Flowers and Butterflies. And I did this one. And this one got a lot of love in my Facebook groups. I got to say that. People are really turning it on to his illustrations. So yeah, I did this one with random colors, the markers. I picked out the gel pens I was going to use. So, not colors I would have picked for a butterfly, but they ended up going together nicely. Oh, just a minute. I'm forgetting to take out my tags. If I don't do that, I'm going to end up with them. Books showing up next month. There. Okay, and then I have Sugar Skulls by Sachin Sachdeva, and this one is intended for children but is in no way not doable by adults. And I did this creepy guy right here. I never used to like doing sugar skulls, but in the last, I guess this year, I've started kind of like doing them because they're kind of like patterns, aren't they? And then out of Mr. Sachdeva's Power Quotes, Color by Number book for adults, there is another copy of this book available that is not color by number, but I think it has a different name. And I did this one, I Am in Control, and that was a ton of fun to color. Then I had the same problem with the next book, so I've got some pictures on PDF and some not. And I'm not too sure, but I may not have any more PDFs this month. I don't know, wasn't into it. I love doing this book. This book is for kids, and I unabashedly say that I enjoyed doing a children's book. So no shame. Loved it. Loved every minute of it. This is the Alphabet. U is for Unicorn by Mr. Sachdeva. And we have A is for Ant. B is for Bear. C is for Cat. And D is for Duck. This book is available in French as well. And then out of the book, I did O is for Owl. I just love this book. I do. So I don't think I did any other PDFs. I'm just going to move those over there so I can file them away. Oh, wait, I did. Okay, so then this is Mosaic Art by such and such Deva. And oh, I did more than one in here. Okay, so I'm starting from the beginning now with this one. This isn't the first page though. So I did this one. Geez, that feels like forever ago, and it was only on the 20th. And then I'd already done that one. And then I did this one, which I did not for the longest time realize was an eel. His eye is up here. I don't know what I thought it was. I was wondering why a snake was in the water, honestly. So yeah. And then I think this is where I did his mandalas. So I have the mandala book, the adult mandala book. Yeah, okay. This is the cover of it. I just printed it out in black and white. So this is an adult mandala book. He has another mandala book, this one. And it is colored by numbers and for children. They are not the same book. They have totally different mandalas in them. And these, I love these. Mr. Sachdeva, I would really, really like you to do another book of mandalas just like this in this style. More of them. They are a ton of fun to color. They are detailed but not too complicated. And they're just gorgeous. And I am in a habit right now that when I do random stuff, when I do patterns, I randomly pick 5 colors out of my permanent markers and just go with the flow. And you know, sometimes it's a weird combination that I wouldn't have done, but they end up looking okay. This one is me. And yeah, I wouldn't have put the yellow in that one, but I really like it. Yeah, this one ended up being pretty blah, and those were random colors too. So yeah, that's all I've done. And look at these. Really looking forward to doing more of those. That is my mandala book of the moment, and so is this one. So I'll be working out of these two this month. So this is a color by number book, which was originally intended for children, but is just like the Dover Sparks mandala book, which adults have taken too. And same with this. There's no reason not to do it. A mandala is a mandala. You can't put an age on it. All you can do is put a skill on the colorist. So I did that one. And I love this one. I switched to alcohol markers for this one, and I don't know, for some reason I always use water-based markers because the spaces are small, so you don't have to worry about streaking. And but yeah, you can really tell the difference when you use alcohol markers or, you know, permanent markers. That's what I use. Okay, so last book by such and such Deva. And this is Spring Season, color by number book for adults. There is another book of the same name, Spring Season, which is this book, but without the color by numbers. And it is an adult book. So I did the second page here, and I had an attack of the coloring, or the sleeping colorist attacked here. You can see a lot of scribblies here and here. Some of them got covered up, some of them didn't, but if I fall asleep coloring, I just keep on with the page. I mean, you know, if I stopped and threw away every page that I wrecked by sleep coloring on it, I would not have half as many pages to show you guys. So, well, maybe not half. And I did pretty good this month with not falling asleep while I colored. And it has nothing to do with being bored or being, or like getting so relaxed that I fall asleep. It's just a combination of my fibro and my meds that I take. So I did my very first picture out of this book. This is the only one of Jasmine Beckett Griffith that I have. Halloween. And this is the page that I did. And I am really, really pleased with how it turned out. I did it all in alcohol marker except for her hair. I followed a tutorial on how to do black hair with one pencil and one blender pencil, and so I became addicted to doing hair that way. And if I have any girls in this pile, their hair will be done this way. And everybody's hair is going to be done this way until I get tired of it or find another way to do hair that I like. So yes, I like that one. Oh, it's called Autumn is My Last Chance, in case you're looking for it in your book. Then this one right here, when I was doing my complete collection, I found that there was an actual whip in here, so I decided to finish it off. I don't do whips. The page that I'm working on is my whip. I did once have a time when I was working on 3 pictures at once, but one was my morning book, one was my afternoon book, and one was my after supper book. And I worked that way until I was back to having no whips. So this is the one that I did, and I am really, really pleased with it. The headphones, the face, and the pattern up here had already been done quite badly, I will say, with some really cheap pencil crayons. And so I decided, well, I'll do it with colored pencil crayons on top of that, but I'll use better ones. So I used my Prismas, I think, and the rest. So this whole thing is done in Prismas, and I used odorless minerals on it, and I think it turned out really well. And I even kind of like played with the pigment when it was wet to kind of give the idea of fur. I don't know how well that worked, but yeah, I'm pleased with it. And this book is a gift from Tracy, my trading buddy, and I colored my first picture out of here. Is it? And I'm really pleased with it. Right here. I guess the color of the bat didn't come out as I had envisioned it. I wanted it to be blue and purple, but this is all done with my Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils, except for the background, which is done with acrylic paint and a paintbrush. And this right here was done with, what are they called? Kuretake metallic paint, watercolor paint for here. And I used Pentel Sparkle Pop Gold and some more Pentel Sparkle Pop, some regular gel pen in there a bit. But yeah, so I like that. Oh, it's all done with, oh yeah, I said that already. I was trying to think what pencils I used with it, and I already told you. That was the watercolors. So yeah, I really like that. It's fun using watercolors in those books. Okay, so oh no. Okay, I don't put a tag in it if I'm doing the first page. So one of my Facebook groups did C.L. Aldrich for the month, and I did terrible with that, which is a shame, because I love working in my mandala books, but Sachin Sachdeva's books, mandala books, kind of took over my mind this month. So I did one out of here, the first one, and I loved working in it. It was wonderful. I really love her mandalas. They're quite complex. It was my first time ever doing one of her pictures, and I watch her Sunday show quite regularly. Not every Sunday. I didn't watch this past Sunday, but I usually do. And that's the only book I have by her. I do want to get her fan favorites though. or any of her other book, really. They're all patterns. Okay, so this is Belba Family's Mystery Mosaics Wow Cats, color by number. And I did this one. And yeah, I should write down what these are so I don't have to look. Okay, this is Cesar, and he is a caracal. Caracal. Never heard of that breed before, but he's got fluffy ears, and it kind of looks like a horned owl. And I have tried the cross-stitch method, and it is not for me. Whenever I show pictures out of this book, people ask me if I have tried the X method. I don't know if they're trying to tell me that my page looks terrible and I should do the cross-stitch method or what, but thought I'd preface that now. I'm just kidding, folks. I'm not bothered or hurt or anything. Oh dear. Okay, so this is Floral Designs, not to be mistaken with Floral Designs color by number book by Creative Haven. This is by Dover, and they both are the same book, but this came out a long time before the color by number book and is just a regular coloring book. So I did this page right here, and after I'd done this page just a few days ago, because I did this on the 29th, it might have actually been the same day I saw this done, and it's done kind of similarly, or at least I recognized it. And then I have this one. This is a Color Your Hoard. A lot of my other ones were Color Your Hoard books too. Last one I just showed you. I've been forgetting to say that. But pretty much you could take like 80% of my books a month are Color Your Hoard books, because I am trying to get through my whole collection, having colored at least one page out of them all, and keeping up with the new ones at the same time. So, yeah, I know. I wasn't pleased with this book when I got it. I'm trying to collect all Creative Haven's pattern-y books, mandalas, patterns, anything that's pattern-y. And this one, I don't know, but I did the first page and I love how it turned out. I just had to sit and think a minute on how I was going to do it. I didn't want to go random. I wanted it to have a structure to it, as I thought it would look better with structure. And yeah, I'm pleased with how that came out. Everything's done in alcohol marker and one of the brands that I mentioned before, unless otherwise specified. So this is the coloring book that we got, I don't know now, because I just received May's, so this would have been what came before May. April. This was April's, I believe. Coloring Heaven Fantasy Princesses, and I called it Fantasy Fairies every time I posted this picture, and nobody corrected me, so I don't know if nobody really paid attention to what this was called, or nobody cared that I was calling it the wrong thing. But this is the one that I did here, and I did this in Black Widow pencils. And I did something new on here. I tried to shade with the black, or I tried to make heavy the lines that were overlapping things so that you could tell that something was on top of something, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean, Vern? I always want to say that, but I know Dee Dee says that. But it's a thing in my house. My husband says it. But if I say it out loud, I feel like people will think I'm copying Dee Dee, and I'm not. Yeah, it's just I'm probably the same age as her, so we both know Ernest, and you guys are probably going, what is Ernest? All you youngins out there. So, yeah, I like how it turned out. Her skin does look dark brown on camera, and it actually is dark green, but I figured she was from a different planet, as well as a place where they have mushroom people, where she could be the princess of them all. So that Coloring Heaven was kind of iffy with me. Some of the pictures are a bit hard, So then I went and worked in this one, which I hadn't worked in yet, if you can believe that. And I love the picture I did in here. It was an easy one, but I had to do it. And so she's totally done in alcohol marker except for her hair. And this time I used, oh, I didn't tell you, last time for the Jasmine Beckett picture, I did her hair with Prismacolors. That's what was used in the tutorial, and I am so sorry that I cannot remember who did the tutorial, but it's called How to Color. I'm not sure if that part is there, but it's with to color hair black, how to color hair black, and the part that you can put in, that'll pull it up, is with one pencil and a blender pencil. Put black hair, one pencil, blender, something like that. It'll come up. And yeah, so I did the hair that way, and I used one of the blacks. I don't know which one, probably Midnight, because it's my favorite of the Black Widow blacks, but I can't promise. And then I used charcoal for her running mascara, and I used Pentel. I think I used the Crazy Pops for the butterflies and the eyeshadow on here. I goofed up on her eye and made made a hole in the page, but I think I fixed it. And guys, can I tell you how much I like this book? I mean, I must have never grown up, because this is a kid's book, and there's no way I can get around the fact that it is a kid's book, because it is. And these are pixels, and they're big pixels, but I love this book. I have so much fun coloring in it. I go so slow when I'm coloring, and I just really get into that mood, and I watch TV, and oh, I just have a nice time. And so anyways, this is what I ended up with. Not the best picture, but hey, it looks way better on camera than it does in person. So yeah, that's an old-fashioned camera, but I still like my first page in here of the cactus. But yeah, so I like this book. This month I've ordered the book 2. They also have one book which has twice as many pages as these two, so I'm pretty sure it's these two small ones combined into one big one. If anybody, I mean, the thing is if you get it, you'd have to work in it until you came to a picture that you had done in one of these two. You would have had to have worked a lot in all 3 books to know if that book was a double of the other 2, or or you could just email them and ask. How about that? Oh dear. Now, I really love the picture that I did in here. Did I lose a book? Because it's not coming up. Where did I put it? Oh, okay, there it is. Oh, I thought a book was gone because never mind. So I really like the picture I did in here. Oh no, this isn't the book I'm thinking of. Okay, now erase back there. Okay, I've edited that out now. Art Deco Patterns Creative Haven by William Rowe. This is an older one. I did this picture, and like, I hated the picture for a start, so I just slopped down some color so I could get to the next page. To me, this just reminds me of Flash Gordon. I don't know why. I should have colored it in red and yellow, but then I went on to this one. And this one I colored in a pattern. Same colors, same thing. So this is the kind of pattern I like to do. One that's a little bit involved, but it's not just, you know, like triangles or checks or something. Something a little bit more than that. This next one is going to be interesting. I'm coming up with a color code for that, but I'm looking forward to it. Okay, now I finally worked in this book. This book is very simple, but it is not a children's book. It is Jane Foster's coloring book, and she is a fabric designer. And so this book just has some of her fabric designs, which are very, that didn't break. The book is glue bound very thickly. So she does very simple folk art fabrics like this. So her pictures in this book are very simple. to do. So I started it, and I did the first two, which are not actually the book. I did the title page, and this is really nice paper too. You could watercolor on this paper. So I did her title page. I've got a speck there. And then I did her about the author page. And these are single-sided, except for that one, but I didn't really care about the note. And yeah, so this was her picture for her note. And then I still think it's going to be fun to color in. And then, guys, I did a picture out of here. And there we go. Oh, it looks so good on camera. It was really hard for me to figure out what the heck I was coloring in here. I must have gotten to like about here. Like I started at the... Well, I started at the outside because I wasn't sure where it was going to end. So I did it because in my other book I did a lines one. This is my first time doing a spiral one out of these books. So I wasn't sure if it was going to end at that little tail or on the inside of it. So next time I'm going to start in the middle. It'll be much easier to do these. The only thing is if you did it in the middle, every time around they get bigger and bigger and bigger and take longer and longer. So yeah, I think it's better to start at the outside because every time it gets smaller. So we all know who that is. And if you don't know who it is, then you're not into horror movies. So, did a Color Your Hoard a picture out of this one, Little Darklings by Kelly Horton. I don't have many of her books, just a little chibi one that she has like this. And I did this page, which I am quite pleased with. And obviously this was before I learned how to do the pencil hair, because it's all marker and white gel pen. And then another Color Your Hoard. So this is the Artist's Edition, which covers a bit grubby, but pages inside aren't. And so I just started at the beginning with this one, and I did the... Oh no, I didn't. I picked one I wanted to do. Which page is it? Oh, there we go. It's the second one. So I did this in... I wonder if we can see. Oh yeah, I have some iridescent medium, and I think you can see, but I put it on the flying animals. So these have iridescent medium on them, and the rest of it's just done in. I think I did it with Bics and Sharpies. I'm pretty sure I didn't use alcohol markers, or else I would have done some blending if I had. Because that's where I do my blending, is on flowers. So yeah, it was nice working a Joanna picture so big. This book isn't very exciting, but it is pretty cool to work on her pictures at such a larger size. Okay, then this month, oh hang on, put that there. And then out of this one here, Russian Fairy Tale Manga Girls, I did this picture right here, and I love her. I just love her. And this time I used dark brown for the hair, and I do not know which brand of pencils I used. Doesn't feel like Prisma. Oh, I do. I know. Sorry. It's the Color Softs. I used, I think it's called dark brown. Oh, chestnut. Might be chestnut. Chestnut or dark brown of the Color Softs. Whatever their dark brown is called. That's what I used for her hair there, and it turned out well, too. This method of doing the hair, which is really so easy, it's not even a method, will only look good with dark hair. I can't see it even working with blonde hair or light colored hair. And I really like how I did the flowers, and I like the Art Nouveau frame on this one. That's why I picked it. Okay, so then in May I co-hosted the Muller in May color along. I was trying to like everybody's pictures over on Instagram and leave comments as when I could. But thanks to everybody who hashtagged Muller in May over on Instagram. It was a big success, and I loved everybody's pictures, and it tried to keep mine going all months too, so I will show you everything that I colored for that now. So this was my first picture out of this book. A lot of these pictures were my first time in these books. Tried to pick books I hadn't colored in before. So this, of course, is all alcohol marker. Deborah's girls are not going to get the colored pencil treatment because she does her hair funky, and so they'll get funky hair. So I used Sparkle Pop, Pentel Sparkle Pop for their rainbows, for their unicorns. Oh, where? I don't know. I'm terrible at this. I can't see. Maybe there? I don't know. So yeah, I like that one. Then this was Deborah's free color of the month. So I did this one for Muller in May and for Mermay. That's my picture for that. And I used, what do you call that stuff now? It's gone out of my mind. I haven't used it for a bit. Stickles. Yeah, I used stickles on her tail and the bubbles. And other than that, just straight coloring. Maybe we can get this one to glitter. I think it's glittering. Yeah, so there. I did do another PDF. Now, I thought I did more than one in here. Maybe that was last month. Yeah. Okay, so I did this one. It wasn't raining when I did this one, but it had been raining forever, so I was still in that kind of a mood. So this is straight coloring with alcohol markers. I did my blended eye, and I put Sparkle Pops on her lips and nails. And then, oh, this is the one I did more than one in. Is this here? Ah, yes. Okay, so this is where I did another buddy color. I hope I didn't miss any buddy colors. Well, they would have had a paper in it if I did. So I did a buddy color here with Misty Lackey, and I forget what her hashtag is. I should know it. We're always commenting on each other's. Oh, I would know it if I saw it, but I just can't think of it. Her name is Misty Lackey anyways, and we did this one as a buddy color, and I loved doing this. I actually did a color and chat with this, and I showed you guys how I did my eyes. Now, it didn't quite work out on such a humongous eye, but it did. It just doesn't look as blended because it's so huge and you see everything in it. But I did do that to her eye, and I used somebody had asked me about this. I used Decorez, it's by Sakura, for covering up the spirals. They were black originally, and the pastels are an opaque color. I guess they're kind of like the Sakura's souffles, maybe. They're an opaque kind of like a paint, like it's gel ink, but it's kind of like a paint, and they have a tiny bit of texture to them, like nothing that you can see, but you can feel it. I'll show you in case you're interested. Use the white for the eyes down there, and this is Cyclops Baby Boo out of the book Freak Show. Oops, more pictures. So I've been waiting to color in this book because I just love it. So we were first going to do this picture as our buddy color, but changed our minds. So I colored it anyways, and I enjoyed every second of coloring that. It did goof up on her face, it looks like. Oh yeah, it was the eye. I made a hole in the paper again. That's the problem with doing those blended eyes. Like, dark colors don't blend together very well with the cheap markers, and some cheap markers blend better than other ones do. So yeah, those eyes didn't blend, and I made a hole in the paper and then kind of messed up. But I think I covered it up pretty good. Enough. Who cares? And then okay, I better finish up these last ones. Okay, then I did, must have done the first page in here. No, why don't I have a, oh, there it is. Way at the back. I did the cover page, and I went with the lime green that they used on the cover. So, there we go. I used a green highlighter to get that awesome neon green in there. This is the picture I colored. I did not feel like writing anything myself on the sign. It's the sign to nowhere, or wherever you want to go. And yeah, I love that picture. I really do. Then Deborah Muller, I did her 2 color by number books. I did this one out of Spring Awakenings. You would think I would have done more than one. And I started this book actually. I'm trying to work on the other book, so I wasn't doing this one. So I did this out of stained glass. And then I actually won a contest that Deborah Muller ran, which was quite surprising. And I got to pick any PDF book out of her Etsy shop, and I decided I wanted to go with an older one, so I went with Vampire Vixens, and of course it's a lovely book. And this is the picture that I colored. Am I going to have to take it apart? Yeah. This is the picture that I colored. So I love her eyes. They turned out great. Used, those are just regular gel pens. They're not the Sparkle Pops. But her lips are Sparkle Pop. So yeah, I printed out the whole book, and I'll just keep it with her books. I'll put it into a folder, but I haven't as of yet. This type of thing. This is the Bad Fairies book. I have it on PDF. And this is, where is the picture? There we are. I did this one. And I love it. I absolutely love that picture. I hope there's no glare. I'm not seeing one, so we should be okay. But yeah, I love this one. It's obviously, for anyone who knows, it's the Cupid pose from, is it Raphael who painted this? And yeah, so that's why I picked it, because of the pose. And, you know, with a skull. I love skulls. Okay, then this I was quite excited about. This is my very first Rita Berman picture. And when I uploaded it to Instagram, she left a comment. Can you believe that? If I had the skills, I would insert picture here, but I don't. So I had a ton of fun doing this. I used my Prismas. I also colored in the greenery and or some of the greenery and the cattails or bulrushes, whatever you call them in your place of the world, the same, so that the two pictures would go together. And yeah, and that's my first Rita Berman picture, and I have 4 of her books now, and I've been left a comment by Rita Berman. I have arrived. Oh dear. If my husband could hear me, he would be laughing. And then you guys know that I got Erie's first 2 Trace Around the World books. This is the first one. And I did, where did I do? I think we're in France. I just have to go back. It doesn't say on this page. Yes, we're in France. So this is a French market stall, and this is the picture that I colored. So you can see they just come out like a picture with no line art. It kind of looks painted in a way. you can see through at some of the lines that she's made, and they don't look yellow green when you color over them. They kind of look more brownish. And yeah, so I really like that. I love coloring on this paper, and I think some people have said that, what have I got on there? Oh well, it's in the water. And what is that? This is Roger. Did I do that? Oh, I think it says Rage. Oh my goodness, why would I write Rage? Looks like my writing. I must have written something. I must have put a piece of paper on top of there and wrote on it. Maybe I used one of my pieces of scrap paper. And it had a bit of, yeah, because I try out things on, okay. Sorry. This is my last book, and we're going to finish now. So that's my last picture, and that's also one of my favorite. I have to say, the pictures that I have done in Erie's book, and that's her Romantic Countries minus number 3, her New World Heritage book, and now Trace Around the World. These are like my favorite ones that I like. Maybe not the finished pictures, not my favorite, but the actual coloring experience has been some of my favorite. So, thank you for joining me and spending your time with me. I know I took a long time to do those books, but yeah, I'll just close now because enough is enough, and I do appreciate you staying this long, so thank you very much. And maybe if you made it this far, you could say hi down below, and then that way I'll know who stayed with me all the way. So thanks a lot, and in the meantime, until next time, bye-bye.